Welcome back. In part 2, we continue exploring the personal libraries of the world's richest minds. Let's dive into the book recommendations of Mark Zuckerberg, Sergey Brin, and other game changers. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, check it out for more amazing reads. Sergey Brin, the other co-founder of Google, has 2 favorite books. One is Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. He's talked about it in interviews with Bloomberg and at tech conferences. It's a fascinating read about how societies develop. Brin also recommends The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins, a book that explores human nature and behavior, which he's mentioned at Google events. Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg recommends Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. Zuckerberg picked this book as part of his A Year of Books challenge on Facebook, where he shared and discussed it with followers. He also suggests Portfolios of the Poor by Daryl Collins and others. He chose this book for his reading challenge and discussed it during Facebook Quanda sessions. Former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer loves business books. One of his top picks is Only the Paranoid Survive by Andrew Grove, which he mentioned in interviews with Business Insider and Fortune. This book focuses on staying competitive. Ballmer also recommends The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, a book about starting and growing businesses, which he's mentioned in several interviews and speeches. Michael Bloomberg recommends Hardball by Chris Matthews, a book about political strategy. He's talked about it in interviews with Politico. He also suggests Lincoln on Leadership by Donald T. Phillips, a book on leadership during tough times. He's mentioned this in public speeches. Nike co-founder Phil Knight loves adventure stories. He recommends Endurance, Shackleton's Incredible Voyage by Alfred Lansing, which he talked about in an interview with the New York Times. It's an inspiring story about survival and leadership. Of course, Knight also suggests reading his own book, Shoe Dog, which tells the story of how Nike became a global brand. That wraps up part 2. Join us in part 3 as we explore the book recommendations of Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z, and others. These final picks are sure to inspire you, so stay tuned.